Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, episode number 7 of our German Let's Play series, and it is a series that I feel like, I keep feeling like is coming to a close. We are absolutely crushing the Royal Navy, but they keep coming, they keep building more ships, and they haven't given up yet. I do know that eventually you can topple the enemy government, but that just hasn't happened so far, and we did decline one initial enemy peace offering. So we're going to continue fighting through to the end and see how things play out. We are about to fight a brand new type of battle, which I don't think I've fought before in this game, which is called a port defense. I don't know what that means. I don't know how things change. Not really sure. But the British appear to be launching an attack on Wilhelmshaven, our principal naval port on the North Sea, and it looks like they're going to be coming at us with a good complement of armored cruisers, light cruisers, and torpedo boats, whereas we have a couple of torpedo boats, the same amount of light cruisers, and one battleship. It would be cool if the game incorporates like anchored ships not being able to maneuver and surprise attacks and things like that. I haven't seen that, and I don't think this battle does that. I know it doesn't, because this was taken from a live stream from my Twitch channel from just the other night. But we'll see how the battle plays out as we jump back into this series and see if the Germans can finish the British off in this war, or if the war will go on. We're going to be fighting a port defense at Wilhelmshaven. We have the battleship Großer Kurfürst, 9,000 tons. The light cruisers Dresden and München, 2,500 tons each. The torpedo boats S11, S2, and S3. The enemy is bringing the armored cruisers Imperius, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, Roxburgh, and then the protected or light cruisers Centaur and Coventry, as well as the torpedo boats Signet, Electra, Havoc, Roebuck, and Zephyr. Let's go ahead and jump in. They definitely have a manpower advantage. We have the advantage of a battleship, but honestly, if they bring these torpedo boats in hard, I would think they would have the advantage. Maybe not. 2, 2, 3, 5, 2, but I don't think our battleship is worth 2 armored cruisers, I guess. I am not a White Claw sponsor. Okay, so it's a strike mission, but we're still at sea and underway, so I don't understand that either. Also, why do we have transports if we're at sea and underway? If you're doing a port strike, do a freaking port strike. Everything's the same, you know. You're always out in the big open ocean and nothing's going on. All right, so division transports are under yes, the famous merchant ship Scharnhorst, Undine, Sachsen, and Posen. Torpedo boats. So all of our ships are in battle line. Good. That's my preferred formation, because screening doesn't seem to do a whole lot. We are closing up. Here we go. What's the weather like? I feel like sometimes we just end up completely on top of the enemy. It is rainy and a strong gale, so I guess it would make sense that we wouldn't have great visibility on the enemy. We're going to run right into one of their torpedo boats here. We're going head first. It's going to be hard to fight this battle with really bad visibility. Enemy CLs are back this way. Charge forth into the enemy torpedo boat line. Oh shit. Torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Avoid it. There you go. You did it. Good job. Fire at this guy. Our torpedoes are in the water. One of them. Got him. Right off the... No! Oops. That's what I get for moving so fast. So one torpedo into the Signet. The S2 takes its fish as well. Großer Kurfürst, turn this way. Hey, Coffee. Weren't you here a while ago, Coffee? Weren't you just here a second ago saying it was bad? Alright, so they fired off all the fish on that. Alright, turn off your fish. I don't think that's gonna hit. Who the hell are you shooting at? Turn! Oh. Well, at least they're using up their torpedoes all on our lead ship here. I love ramming, by the way. I wish there was a capability to ram. I'm not gonna lie, Coffee, I mistake you for Charcoal Cheetah sometimes. You always both have the same image for like the same color. Anyway. All right, S3 is turning back. S2 is basically screwed. All right. Go for the enemy warships. Alright, seals. Okay, detach and turn away. God damn, I hate this. So I'm gonna tell him, I'm gonna tell this guy to turn, and he probably won't listen. Or he's already in like emergency evasion mode, I guess. Yeah. Well, we're gonna collide. Whatever. It's not like friendly collisions matter in this game. Just a friendly glancing blow. You can ram enemy ships, but friendlies, you don't have to worry about it. S11 probably shouldn't charge off by itself, but it is. All right, S2 is pretty much dead in the water. S11 is, I guess, working on closing with the enemy CLs. The only thing that really scares me in this particular battle is the sheer amount of enemy torpedoes, because that's the one thing that I'm usually lazy with and don't pay good enough attention to. And that's also kind of a side effect of when you play fast. So the enemy torpedo boat, the first one we hit a torpedo with, is sinking. Havoc is apparently has a damaged rudder and engine, but is not suffering like any actual damage. Oh no. Hey! Did we even hit the Centaur with torpedoes? Or was that just a 3-inch gun that caused it to blow up? No. I'm not really sure. The report says our own S11 got hit by enemy fish. Can you put barbettes on barbettes? I don't think so, but you can put barbettes on the ship. Anyway, we sank the Centaur. Damn thing blew up. Seems to be something wrong with our fish today. I'm guessing we hit it with a torpedo because it said it detected enemy torpedoes, but I didn't see it where it said it hit. We're gonna try and close on Coventry, so that's one of the enemy CLs down, one of their TBs down. Was it really a 3-inch? A 3-inch gun destroyed it with a flash fire? That's absurd. Oh my god, get better with the ammunition handling, boys. Bad luck for the AI. The Große first. I mean, torpedo boats trying to close all of our secondary guns are completely worthless. Ooh, nice penetration and fire on the Roebuck, which turns away. Go charge after it. You're gonna get killed before you get there. Did they haul off to fire torpedoes at the S2, which is already dead in the water? Like, I guess AI, you're so desperate for killing enemy ships that you just give up a chance at a battleship to go for a torpedo boat? Okay, whatever. Yeah, they left the flash fire doors open again. Bastards. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's probably not much armor at the ranges we fight at. SB or S11, you gotta close on the Coventry. You can't just sit off at that range. You're gonna get yourself murdered. Meanwhile, my own CL and TB are just kind of cruising out here. I was going for the enemy torpedo boats. Not sure where they went. Meanwhile, their torpedo boats continuing to swarm around the S2 while the battleship does yeoman's work to try and you can be my wingman anytime. They're just, you know, speedboats at war against our battleship. Good luck, S2. See, this is what the AI needs to do a better job of. Don't haul off between flag near and torpedo range. If you're gonna get that close, go for the frickin' torpedo strike. Yeah, S11, you're not gonna catch up to them. Our transport seems safe for the moment. We're not going to sink all enemy ships. I don't even know where their armored cruisers went. Roebuck's taking some damage. Slowly but surely, the battleship is wearing them down. Oh, they damaged our funnel, those bastards. Okay. Oh, there's the enemy armored cruisers right around our battleship. Hey, SEALs, you're already on the way, right? Yeah, you are. Come help out, would you? Roebuck, maybe not the best use of your ammo at this point. Kerr or Grosser Kerr first. The S2 still stuck, making no speed, basically. Dresden and the other light cruiser coming up as quick as they can. S3. Man, this is a weird fight. Lol, armor's doing work. Maybe the enemy armored cruiser will come by and we can hit it with a torpedo. They'll just sail by our TB. My CLs are coming up. And the battleships and armored cruisers seem to be completely ignoring each other and just shooting at the light ships. Alright, Dresden. Yeah, you're not gonna get in range. The Dresden might. Alright, Dresden, I want you to make a beeline for the enemy's armored cruiser bow. Torpedoes off, smoke ready and on. We're gonna go for a bow torpedo strike. Meanwhile, our battleship continues to wreck the Roebuck. Okay. Midship torpedo fired. Enemy's going to turn and avoid it. Not even close. Holy shit. Give me a bow torpedo strike. S2 sinks from damage. Gotta have another torpedo ready, right? Meanwhile, the München fired one fish at the Roxburgh. That's gonna be a hit. Detach and then give him a stern shot. Got in real close on this enemy CL or CA. We're just gonna shoot a torpedo out our ass right down the enemy bow, and that should finish him, I would think. Stern tube, go. Boom! Roxburgh stern, or hit on the rear half of the ship and then on the bow, and she's finished off. Very balanced flooding. Dresden, looks like she missed with another fish. Yeah, another one just missed. You know, my battleship is just doing nothing. Electro's torpedo boat's kind of trying to come up behind me a little bit. But barring something stupid, my battleship getting hit and sunk, this battle's a victory. One enemy armored cruiser sunk, a CL already sunk. Going for a second CA. Okay. Can you ram the enemy here? I love ramming. I'm obsessed with it, even though it's not generally the best tactic in this game. Get him! Nope. Don't let him avoid you. Ram! Oh, it was just a glancing blow. Oh shit. This might be a problem. Hit Roebuck. Great if you had any torpedoes ready. The enemy probably does. Is it gonna hit? Or is it too far to the rear? Just missed. But the enemy tubes are on the back of their ship, so they can't fire yet. So we should get a stern shot if it's loaded. I'm not sure if it is or not. Might not be reloaded yet. Nope, it is. Midships. Roebuck's hit. Structure damage. I don't know if it still has fish ready. Nope, he's fired off all of his torpedoes. Good for us. Roebuck's going down. Another enemy torpedo boat destroyed. The Imperial Zeus, or whatever, I believe we hit with a fish as well. She's dead in the water. The Sears Roebuck is trying to be sneaky. Yeah. Alright. Target the Electra. There's another enemy CL out there somewhere that I haven't finished off. The Electra's making a beeline for our battleship. Still out of range. Still out of range for the Electra as it tries to close. No, don't turn. I literally had a course that was going to avoid a collision, and the AI decides, screw it. We know better. Let's turn away. It's frustrating. Gotta basically cut all forward movement using those emergency, I guess, reverse. I just heard a torpedo launch. Yep. It's off the München. But that fish is going to go behind. Fire another one off the bow. That should be a nice hit. And we'll get a midships as well. And she's going down. All right, second enemy armored cruiser is gone. And now we've got the Electra. The enemy torpedo boat here to deal with. Fire in the rear of our battleship, I'm guessing set by the 3-inch gun or whatnot on the front of the enemy torpedo boats. Electra still has one fish left. But she's stuck between 3 ships' gunfire. And once she fires that last torpedo, it doesn't even matter. All right, so letting sink the bastard. All right, Electra's taking damage. Once she is sunk, we will end the battle, I think. I think there's still a couple enemy ships out there that we haven't sunk, but this will be an effective victory. I haven't used the avoid torpedo option, I don't think. Dresden's firing a torpedo off at the Electra, which is basically dead in the water. It's got all 3 engine icons. It can still pivot with its rudder, I guess, so it's going to miss that torpedo somehow. Can you ram? Probably will sink before you get there, but... Dresden, ram the bastard. Ah, she's gonna sink. She's pretty much dead in the water, so let's try and ram her. 15 flood. Structure on this cruiser is 100%. Ram! Got it! And she sinks. Nice. Victory with a ram. Okay. And end battle. Another great victory for the German Navy. We lost the S-2, so a single torpedo boat. We also had moderate damage to the S-11 on this port attack by the British, which ended in disaster. 2 armored cruisers sunk, 1 light cruiser, 3 torpedo boats sunk. Just 2 torpedo boats and a light cruiser escaped. Over 1,100 British casualties, 6 warships sunk, 1 German, 2,000 victory points to 144. It is comically, the enemy is comically inept. I don't know which patch Rex is going to impact magazines and exploding ships. This is not a mobile game. Off the boss. Okay, so victory there. Meanwhile, the British lose 2 more transports due to commerce raiding, and we lose 3. We also apparently have an ambush where we have 4 torpedo boats ambushing a British battleship and light cruiser off the Dutch coast. The British are down to 3 battleships and 15 light cruisers, which means they must have completed one because they lost one last turn and they were at 15 last turn. They're down to 23 torpedo boats. You can see they're still laying down quite a few ships, so they are building stuff, but they are losing pretty damn badly. And yeah. So let's go ahead and do the ambush and see how our torpedo boats fare against the enemy battleships. We've got 4 torpedo boats in line. I'm going to switch their formation to abreast, because I think that's the best way to do it. Enemy ships are spotted to the west, or their smoke is, and we're already headed to the west. Okay, so we spotted the enemy. What's the lead ship? Probably the light cruiser, right? No, that's the battleship. Okay. Torpedo boats assemble. Charge headlong at the enemy. Light cruisers off to the left. Alright, so I've got one guy off to my flank. We're in torpedo range now. Torpedoes are in the rear of the ship though, so they've got to get a better angle. And see, why would you do that? Why would you turn out? You fire there? So the new lead is the S5. Again, I know it's suffering bad damage, but you're already making a death charge, so just go for it, right? Alright, S5. You're broadside to broadside with the battleship. Get in torpedo range here. 26 knots. Oh shit. It's all forward momentum. Fish are in the water. 2 of them. This is like a battleship battle on high speed. Because I don't have the patience to run everything at normal time. The funny thing is, usually I will say the one positive for the AI here is that typically you're going to run into each other, aren't you? Oh. Avoid! There you go. They're going to crash into each other. One thing I will say that's a positive thing for the AI is usually when you turn out a line, it seems like it pretty much always saves the ship turning out of line. I intended to do the abreast formation to get us into a better situation where we'd have like 3 ships all come along the side at the same time, so if the enemy knocked out the lead ship, then they wouldn't necessarily knock out the other ships. But that has not worked out so well. Alright, Fisher away. 1 torpedo hit. 2 torpedo hits from the S7, which is now going to get clobbered by an enemy torpedo probably. The S10 has lost its rudder. Detach and take over lead. Oh. This one is like a freaking FPS battle. Alright, fish away off the S10. Lord Nelson's already in danger, flooding wise. 2 more fish should finish her. The first fish misses, but a midships for the second. She should go down. And she does. I sacrificed my torpedo boats to sink the goddamn enemy fleet. Or battleship, anyway. Meanwhile, the Blanc, we have the S8, which is still in good shape. Enemy light cruisers firing torpedoes on our torpedo boat, the S7. She's gonna sink. Oh, I thought that was gonna miss. So the S8 takes a fish, but 2 fish into the block. She should sink. She should. No fish left on the S5, huh? Well, there's only one way to finish this guy off then. He's at 2 float. Can ram her before they have a chance to repair their flooding. Ram him! 200 tons into the side of a light cruiser. Charge! Ram damage. I love how the ship just like miraculously turns away. You're telling me that didn't do any flotation damage? They're still pumping the water out? My torpedo boats are in rough shape. We have 3 left. Oh, there we go. She sinks. All right. So a victory. So we had 1 torpedo boat sunk, 3 moderate to heavy damage. The enemy lost a battleship and a light cruiser. God. Torpedoes are fun in the early game. As gunnery becomes more accurate, they become slightly less nuclear. And the British are down to 2 battleships and 14 light cruisers at the end of November 1891. It is December of 1891. The dreaded Chalupacharaba. Thank you for the follow. All right, I don't think any battles here in December. I'm surprised we're not blockading the British yet. Oh, wait, actually, we do have a battle. Where the hell is this? How did they get into the Baltic Sea off of Sweden? I guess it's a single CL, so maybe it's just a commerce raider. But let's fight this one. We're going to go rapid style. This whole second half of the stream is just rapid fire at the enemy. Just charge forth and shoot. Horatio Nelson would be proud. Maybe. They heavily disperse your ships in 1940, the 1940 campaign. Huh. So to the west, right? So we're closing on the enemy. We're down to ×5, and there they are. Now, this is going to be important for us to get in torpedo range, not for gaming reasons, but because, as we remember, the enemy CLs have heavy guns here, so you can see the 6 or 7 inchers. I can't remember which. I think they're 6 inchers, and our guns are 4 inchers. I don't really want to get into a broadside battle with them, although we do have from a rate of fire perspective, we'll have an advantage. But from where we really, I think, have the advantages are speed and potentially maneuverability, to try and go and make torpedo attacks on the enemy here. Yeah, it could be fun. Dreaded. I think the game needs a lot of work before they get it out of early access. But yeah, I mean, I've obviously played it a fair bit on the channel and enjoy it. So you can see that we got a 4-inch shell in the front of the ship and quite a bit of flooding from a single hit. Or actually, it was a 3-inch shell. So these enemy ships must be terrible designs. They have somewhere in here it says yeah, it gives you a lot of information. There's 6-inch guns, by the way, but they're already pumping the water out. Yeah, it gets back to, so I run a podcast called the Single Malt Strategy Podcast with Tortuga, who was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still here. And we had Uper on, who is a frequent guest of the show. He does a lot of work with Command Modern naval operations, like community stuff. And he's also a former tanker. And in our one of our last episodes, we were talking about an upcoming game called Arms Trade Tycoon, which is a game about Arms Trade Tycoon tanks, which is a game about building and designing tanks in World War I and into the modern era in theory. Right now the demo just covers World War I. And he said what he really hopes when the game comes out is that they allow you to experiment with a bunch of different ideas and designs that historically, like, they tried a bunch of crazy ass shit between World War I and World War II with tank designs. And they didn't know what was going to fail miserably and what was going to work. And so, you know, he was hoping that the game allows you to do that, allows you to experiment with different ideas so that you don't just go down the sort of the historical route always, that you can have a little bit of fun, you know, mixing and matching different crazy ideas. There's a lot of like meme ships and stuff like that that people have done with Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts in terms of ship designs during sort of the Naval Academy portion of the game. But I do wonder if as the game gets further along, as the campaign gets more advanced, if you'll see less of that. That, you know, meme ships are a thing and whatever. I'm not sure I want to see, you know, 100 torpedo battleship, but I do think, you know, one of the fun things is having a little bit more flexibility to try out different concepts and ideas and see what works for you and your play style. So I hope they don't railroad you too hard. You know, obviously I don't want to see really stupid stuff succeed in a way that's not plausible, but I do think there are other ideas that maybe you could experiment with in a game like this and have a good time. Meanwhile, I'm talking about other things because right now we're really just kind of going toe-to-toe with the enemy. We have taken some damage to one of our engines. We do have some flotation here. The Coventry has also taken quite a bit of structure damage, not much in the way of float damage. We're going to go ahead and throw our smoke screen out. Not that they don't know exactly where we are, but it does reduce accuracy. Hard over, boys. They fired a torpedo. Why don't you go with aggressive torpedo? So turning into the torpedo seems a much more effective route than turning away. I thought you were always supposed to turn away from torpedoes in real life, but at least in game it seems like turning into them is much more effective. Meanwhile, our speed looks like it's repaired, so let's try and close with the enemy again. Okay. Coventry's structure is really having issues. It's burning out. We've got our 4-inch guns firing tons of HE, and so you can see fire stem to stern. I think it's funny that we had that battle where the enemy had a single 3-inch shell hit it and it had a flash fire, and then this one, like the whole damn ship, like all of these compartments here that you see are all on fire and no flash fire yet. All right, enemy put another torpedo into the water, turn into it. He didn't turn soon enough. Took a torpedo hit. Is the enemy going to take one too? It looks like it is. Yeah, we got the Coventry. Oh, she's gone. The whole bottom of the ship is gone. You saw the whole bottom flooding. Augsburg might have been about to sink, but the Coventry sank first. Dreaded, this covers 1890 to like early 1940s without the aircraft carriers at the moment. So Augsburg took a pretty heavy amount of damage. The Coventry was sunk. Another victory for us. Ready to go. Thank you for the bits. Appreciate the support. As well as to all the subs in the chat and who continue to support the channel. I appreciate that as well. I have never played much in the way of board games. I always wanted to get into it, but never really had. And I know with Vassal and things like that, you can do board gaming more easily now, but I just never really had a lot of people around me who played board games. I remember I had I think it was called Battle Cry of Freedom. It was like the Civil War board game that I got at one point and brought it with me to a ski resort with a friend who's big on skiing, and we played a little bit like between ski runs, and also like at a poker event we set one up in one of his extra rooms in their house, and everyone was playing poker, but then people would drop in and play a round of board games. And then I played Axis and Allies with him once, and he like built this massive fleet of transports with no escorts, and my submarine sank all of them. But that's kind of the extent of what I've played board gaming wise. And that was all like 20 years ago. All right, so with those victories here, the enemy's down to 14 CLs, 26 TBs. So they have built a few more torpedo boats, 2 battleships, and they have, I think, replaced a couple of armored cruisers. But victory points wise, the margin just continues to grow. It's 36,000 victory points versus 4,100. and we have now been at war for 2 years. We did lose 3 transports in the North Sea, apparently, to enemy raiders. They do have a lot of CLs. They just completed 2 more CLs this turn. They're up to 17, and so they're doing some damage to our commerce here, sinking some ships. Although we are investing so heavily in transport capacity that it's not really impacting us. We're actually getting stronger commercially. They do get some victory points for that, though. So it's January of 1892. We are 2 full years into the war. We have 2 months left on the THG class of armored cruisers, and research is chugging along on rangefinders. Looks like we're 2 months away from a minesweeper cruiser. Well, that's freaking worthless. I just wanted a bigger, heavy cruiser, not a minesweeper cruiser. 7 months on hull protection. Yeah. All right, we'll move forward to February. There's another transport. Looks like we're about to have a convoy battle in the channel between a CA and a 2 CLs. High life. I guess it's high for life. Thank you for the follow. So we're going to have a convoy battle in this particular turn. The enemy commissioned more CLs, so they're up to 18 CLs. Still just the 2 battleships. Meanwhile, our CAs came online. We've got 11 of them, which just came off the ways. Not going to be involved in this fight. Why is this guy mothballed? Oh, we don't have a crew. I commissioned all these armored cruisers, and I don't have enough crew. Or maybe I do now? Looks like we've got 137 crew that are trained and waiting for ships, with 288 coming online every month. So I guess I was able to crew it up. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up here. I hope you guys enjoyed yet another episode of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. The game is being developed and is in early access. It's being developed by Game Labs. And I'm enjoying myself in this series. It's probably going to be the last series we're going to do on this game for a little while. I know they have other campaigns every 10 years after this, so like 1900, 1910, 1920, 1930. And I do know that it also does influence, like, torpedoes become less lethal, or maybe not less lethal, but engagement ranges get pushed out a bit because technology advances and you can't get in so close or you get absolutely wrecked by torpedoes. So the style changes a lot, per my understanding, in later campaigns, but I think I'd like to see the game a little bit more fleshed out before we play another series. With that being said, this series is not yet over, so we'll see how things play out in our next video. We are thrashing the British, but they're actually building almost as many ships as we're sinking at this moment, so we'll see if they can turn things around, if they can swamp us with numbers, if we need to start designing and building new ships. We'll find all that out in future episodes. Until next time, however, this has been the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.